Okay, this video coming up is the part 2 of the electron flood theory. You should watch part 1. And I have dozens and dozens of videos covering the new atomic model that I am proposing that is called electron flood, which has no neutrons. So you have to go in here and look. There's it goes into great detail, and it's not very complicated. You can easily understand it, and there is examples and experiments and actually photos, and all of the details are included in these videos. Alright, I have videos that go into great detail on this, but this is a red laser, pulsed red laser light in a darkened environment. And now we're going to see what happens to it when it gets sent through an accelerating Venturi, which is here. Two steel drums create an airplane wings, forcing the tiny little particle beam, and all this is shock wave. The tiny particle beam crushes itself into an atomic electronic plasma, and it comes out the other side in a plasma where all of the particles are now invading each other's regions. They explode away from each other and make that spray, and then drop down to their bosons. I agree with that, and then they end up with the Higgs fields, and I'll show that. Alright, I agree with the bosons. This is coming out of the accelerator. That's what they call Cherenkov radiation. It's coming out with these particle beams. Those particles are what they call charged carriers, and they're the light particles, and they smash into the ether, which I explained, and they cause these patterns of polarized particles. All of these particles are in the air just waiting to do something, and when they get knocked around by another negative particle, they start to create patterns, and that's exactly what you see. The particle from the boson is unseen and inside. This, my friend, is a white particle spinning in the reverse spin. It has no magnetic field like all the others. That qualifies as antimatter. It came from the same source. It's an electron. I'm saying they're electrons. It's light, whatever you call it, whatever you want. It's light, and it came from the same source. I'm saying it's electrons. I'm saying it's a particle. I'm saying I can show it. And I'm saying that has no magnetic field. And I am also saying that qualifies as the same mass, reverse magnetic field. That's antimatter. That's all I can tell you. That's what they say. And not only that, that's that antimatter particle coming through here. These are the regular Higgs fields that surround the charged particle that's smashing through the ether. And guess what we have here? We have a mini matter. I don't know what it is. I have no clue what that is, but that's exact same architecture, a cone looking shape. It's the same glow, it's the same color, only it is highly magnified. Highly excited compared to these other fields. They are not, and I don't know whether it's going to grow or what's going to happen here. However, this one appears, the antimatter, if it is antimatter, the anti-polarity one is now stepping down or doing something to create another field here. It's the only shot I have like this. So the other ones have lots of these kind of things, but not that one. And this is a blue one coming around, spinning to the right as it goes forward, and that's the particle. It would drift to the left, and you can see it's accelerated down here, and it's compressing up here. So that's all I can tell you. It was accelerated, and this is the boson part, and up here it will smash into the unrestricted space and become a Higgs field, and then immediately they go back to their little light particles. It's basically the same thing I'm saying. Is an accelerated electron. So the Cherenkov radiation, which I said for the white radiation from the electron shower, produces an electron neutrino, produces multiple cones. They call it electron neutrino. I don't know what I'm saying. It's an electron. It smashes into a different media. It's coming from a restricted area, crushing each other. So now they have to establish their own regions again. They smash into this area that has a bunch of electrons in it, that own it, that are just sitting around, and it says, get out of the way, and they all go flying. That's what you're seeing. You see that? That's the exact same thing Glenn was seeing. Only this is in a cloud chamber. It's where they do electron experiments. They shot electron from a Van de Graaff generator, smashed down into this surface, and instantly took this photograph, which shows where the electrons literally are, this is the region the damn thing owns. And apparently it is exciting whatever molecules are in this region to create these patterns, which are normally considered to be the Fraunhofer lines. But I've looked at this very carefully. It's very interesting. It's wide and one in the center, wide and one in the center, wide, one in the center, one in the center. What is going on with that? But I do see this is very, very, very similar to the pattern that we picked up from the accelerator. And that's exactly what that is. Is up above here, they shoot down a beam of electrons from a charged up capacitor, let's say up here, now, pow, it smashes down there. And when it did, this is what it created. That's what John Glenn saw. All right, now this is what CERN is hoping to see. It's the same thing that I'm showing, these Higgs fields, after a collision. But they're using heavy particles, smashing them head on head. We're going through an automatic, just a very simple restriction which crushes and forces these particles, because they're coming forward, they have to get through that orifice. And the only way to do that is to accelerate and to force into each other's regions. That is what happens. That's what causes the acceleration. And then when they come out the other side, they present these fields, and then they decay immediately. That is what we see. That's what they were hoping to see. We've already shown it. These are green, and the green is much stronger than the red. The accelerator is down here, and they show up way out here. The red shows up much closer. All right, here's the red showing up here. Same structure. It looks like a little atomic symbol from the 60s. And that's where they come out. It's still blurry, and then they settle for 2 waves, and then they change back to their regular spinning particle. It's a step down. It's a deceleration. And that's the close-up of the particle. I'm saying it's a particle. Now, it's whatever it is to you, I'm saying it's a particle because I can see something there. But I know it's energy, and I know it's energy because I can see no energy here, and I can see energy here, and I can see that there's some spike coming up, down here, and there. So they are somehow interacting. I don't understand the mechanism here, but I can see the result is energy, no energy. This, and then I think there might be a toroid neck in here, a torus. This might be a torus, and there might be a toroidal neck in there, which would create inductance, which would force back into the capacitive area of the torus. Just guess.